Sosocamo has become one of the most exciting emerging talents of this year. Coming out of Apex, North Carolina, Camo went viral for the track Keep Steady, which gained him over 40 million streams and appeared on the Spotify viral charts. His debut album No Service features beats which are sparse, wide and intentionally empty, echoing the isolation and the vibe of his rural world. 2026 looks huge for Sosocamo as he continues to grow his audience and his sound continues to gain traction and finds its way into the mainstream. In today's video, I'm going to be exploring the production behind Sosocamo. I'm going to break down why this sound is blowing out right now and show you exactly how you can use aspects of this sound to improve and broaden your music production. So to really deconstruct Sosocamo's success, we have to look at his most viral songs. In the track Keep Steady, the melody is led by a pad playing a minor progression. It has a piano counter melody, some rhythmic percussion and bass to create this repetitive, calm but spacey vibe.
Outside with my niggas, we doing the most. Grabs on the table, yeah, I been gone.
So to achieve the same vibe, I set the tempo to 128 beats per minute and lay down a descending progression with that slightly jazzy feel. I use a mix of 7th chords and triads for more of a motive feel and followed that 6-5-1 progression, which is super common in jazzy melodies. And just like in Keep Steady, I chose a brassy pad patch I found in Wave Station to lay the foundation. And this second section, I just made some inversions by dropping the B down, for example, just to make it slightly less repetitive. So one thing that shows up time and time again in Sosocamo's melody is pedal texture. In songs like Narcotics or 200, you hear these textured melodies that sound like they've been run through a pedal.
$500,000 cash on a jet. Dropped on me 50K a bag for the set. I got to
So to get this same feel, I grabbed a multi-keys pedal preset from Keon's Analog Labs bank and cloned that same progression over. And I stacked those two layers together just to add some depth and thickness to the chords. Then clone the chords once more exclusively just to use in the verse section, and this just helps to ensure the melody keeps evolving as the beat goes on. So after this, I just wanted to introduce an interesting piano element just like in the melody of Keep Steady. So I laid down a simple piano walk down towards the end of the melody just to add some flavor to the progression. Then to fit with this experimental and textured vibe, as heard in Camo's music, I then textured it with a step shifter plugin. I stretched it, added some halftime delay to make it a little bit more unique. And I pitched it down an octave on the first one and then at its regular pitch on the second one. And it's just in the background, just giving a little bit of texture in ear candy. While this was sounding cool, I thought the melody could do with some movement. So to achieve this, I grabbed an EP from Wave Station and just laid down a simple progression. I then reversed that, time stretched it and processed it with a step shifter and a flanges just to spice it up. And again, just a kind of simple background texture, but just adds a slight bit of movement. Super subtle, but those things add up to the bigger picture. So once I had all the melodic elements, it was time to try and introduce some rhythm. Sosocamo's percussion usually consists of loud hi-hats, crisp snares, claps, and also sometimes some acoustic sounding drums and bongos as accents. I think a key thing to note here is the spaces beats often have, often between claps, leaving pockets for Camo to flow over. It's important to keep the balance of keeping the percussion interesting while also maintaining that spacey vibe that Camo's beats always have. So to get this same vibe, I added a simple hi-hat pattern with some pauses that complement the clap and left some space for the melody to breathe. And to the hi-hats, I added an effectrix there just with a reverse and some delay. I then stacked that with some snares, extra claps and open hi-hats just to add a little bit more rhythm and interest. So just like in Shot Caller and Hurry Up, I added a mixture of alternating 808s. Camo's beats always have that punchy low end that keeps the rhythm set by the percussive instruments. So to follow suit, I grabbed a couple of varying spins 808s and laid down a pattern following the root notes. And I also added this staggered walk up the end just to make the beat a little bit more interesting and connect the ends to the beginning. And then simply arrange the beat with an intro, chorus section, a verse section here, into the bridge, back to a chorus, and then an outro. And I also made sure to keep the beat pretty short, around 2 minutes 15, just like Sosocamo's beats are. And then after adding a couple of rises to signify the chorus, I then EQ'd the low end up the melody and mastered the beats to make sure the drums were hitting and super punchy. Now, if you learned something from this breakdown, make sure to check out my video on SD Kid's production. In that one, I break down exactly what makes his beats impossible to ignore right now. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon to never miss a video from me. Check out my sample library and Analog Labs presets, first link in description. See you all in the next one.